I got a couple of Ducks jokes that I thought we'd start off with.
Okay. Okay.
Rob, what do the Anaheim Ducks, professional hockey team, and the Titanic have in common?
I don't know.
They both look good until they hit the ice.
Missouri seating starts right now.
Rob, also, what's the difference between a bucket of shit and the Anaheim Ducks?
Adam, what is the difference between a bucket of shit and the Anaheim Ducks?
The bucket. So we are in week three of the Disney sports movie draft,
Yeah.
and our $3 pick, our controversial $3 pick,
Yeah. Hmm.
was D2 The Mighty Ducks, directed by Sam Weisman, who has had two movies in consecutive months on reserve seating.
What was the other one?
George of the Jungle.
Oh, okay. George of the Jungle's Sam Wiseman. All right. Got it. Got it.
That's
Got it.
becoming the summer of Sam
So,
for us. Yeah, D2 The Mighty Ducks is the second, obviously, in the Mighty Ducks trilogy. It is interesting because in the first movie they were state champions of Pee Wee hockey in Minnesota,
right.
and yet they've been graduated up to representing Team USA in the Goodwill Games.
Yeah.
There's a few additional members of the Team USA team from other hockey teams around the country.
Right. And they're all lovingly characterized without any sort of cultural stereotypes or just really sensitive portrayals.
D2 the Mighty Ducks is like being shot out of a cannon into 1994.
It really is. I really was, as I was watching it, I was just making a list of all the 1994 isms. This movie, as you alluded to earlier, the sort of internal mythology of the Ducks, their reputations in the larger sporting world, how the sort of larger sporting hockey world in general sort of works is all very nebulous and very confusing. I tried my best not to think about it because the movie didn't really stop long enough to let me think about it. One of the things that really stuck with me was the way that the early 90s started to shift away from Russian villains into sort of a more general European Aryan
Mm.
coded villain with Iceland. It's we're sort of moving away from the Rocky Four stuff and more into like a kind of like, well, the Russians are our friends. The Cold War is over, but we need kind of like a European villain of some kind. Keenan Thompson with his knuckle puck.
Yeah.
It really was. For kids who were too young for when this movie came out, I really can't emphasize enough how much it truly was knuckle puck time.
I don't
Really
know
was.
if anyone's ever done the knuckle puck like in an actual game. I would be really interested to know that if anybody knows, add it to the comments, please. If
Uh,
knuckle puck has actually happened organically in a hockey game. So this is the movie in the trilogy where Gordon Bombay uh, gets a glow up and
yeah,
gets a big head about things because they
yeah,
tried to make him into Pat Riley,
right.
like coach as star,
Mm.
and in the most PG rated way, he goes off the rails.
Yeah,
Like he has ice cream with like the strength and conditioning coach for Team Iceland, which when you get a look at the lady, of course you go get ice cream with her.
right.
And it's not like he's trading secrets with her necessarily either, but like the two enforcers, the Bash brothers, one of them played by Eldon Henson and the other one played by not Channing Tatum, is like
Oh,
incensed by this. And I get it because they're kids and everything like that. But one thing I forgot was when I was growing up, I thought that they like just legitimately had like kind of a meet cute and were on a date, but she's like spy. She's
yeah.
like I didn't know she was never paid attention after that scene that oh yeah, this was a setup the
The
whole
Bash
time.
brothers were correct. I mean,
Yeah.
they were right to be wary of it. Yeah, more than almost any other movie we've watched from this time period. This one really did take me back to like being a young kid watching Nickelodeon because
Yeah.
the archetypes present here, like I really did think that this was how society was going to work. Like I really did think that like everybody would have like a particular coding to their personality. We would all have like a brand that we would take with us, and
Mm.
plot wise, though, what really made me laugh was how much this movie is just full of unforced errors. Like all the whole plot is just unforced errors. It's just Gordon Bombay fucking off and then coming back, and then a miscommunication here, and then sort of a brief doubt here, and then we've got a spot on the roster. Let's bring in Kenan Thompson. This solves a problem that the movie invented that it didn't really take any time to explore, but just sort of solved. It's putting pieces together. I mean, but that being said, where I can watch something like this and compare it to, I guess, for example, like something like Dennis the Menace, like thinking of something we watched recently,
Mm.
where like tonally, I really was not into the movie because I just felt like it was all over the place and poorly constructed. This one, for whatever reason, because it was so unpretentious about how poorly it was constructed, I kind of was just like okay with it. I was kind of like, yeah, I understand. We all just want to get to the flying V. Let's just do
Mhm.
whatever we need to do to get there. The kids are charming. They're,
I mean, I like it from a nostalgia
yeah,
perspective. I don't think it's a particularly good movie, even in comparison to the first one. I haven't seen the first one in a long time, but I feel like that's a legitimately good
like kids
Disney
sports.
sports kids movie, where this is a lot. It reminds me a lot of Free Willy 2, where it's like
Okay.
it's the bubble gum, the trading cards,
Victory
the
lap.
action figures. Yeah, it's like the victory lap, and then like the third one's kind of like the slightly humbled one.
I remember
Um,
the third one being kind of dark. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know if it was dark, but it didn't make much sense because they went from being representative of Team USA, and then shortly thereafter, they're like the junior varsity team of a prep school, and they can't beat the
Right.
varsity team. And I'm just like, that doesn't really wash because the Team Iceland, they look like they're older teenagers at
Yeah.
least. So so it's like they should be able to beat prep school varsity and D3. I don't know.
This movie, I think, has the right level of like stakes and gravitas to meet with what maybe is an unpopular opinion, but um, Emilio Estevez's very sort of okay screen presence. I'm not a huge Emilio guy. I love his dad's work in The West Wing.
Mhm.
I like Martin Sheen generally. I think Charlie Sheen is a much more interesting actor,
Yeah.
who made a lot more interesting choices. Emilio to me has always been a guy who just like was like straight down the middle and
Yeah.
didn't carry a ton, but kind of was it was sort of okay that he didn't carry a ton. There weren't really high stakes when it came to Emilio. And I think something like having not rewatched the first one in a while, something like D2, where he's like, oh man, like I almost made it through minor league hockey and then I got hurt. Well, I guess I'm back coaching. Like he's totally fine with being at that level and his skill set and his level of charisma and all those things. It's perfect for again, a fairly inoffensive, charming kids movie.
Yeah, not to borrow like kind of a bit from like the Bill Simmons rewatchable
Right.
Ringer verse. But he's like the guy who will give you 20 points per game, but on a team that wins 18 games out of 82.
Got
Like he's
it.
perfectly cast for something like this to be the focal point of D2 the Mighty Ducks, but yeah, he's not somebody that you would put in something more elevated to kind of lead the way. And I've liked him in a lot of movies.
I like
He's
him just fine.
yeah, he's an okay presence. Even though I agree with you where I prefer Martin Sheen or Charlie Sheen. I do think that this movie would be a really fun second movie on a double feature with Miracle because
Sure.
this is sort of like the baby Miracle on Ice. Like you could totally tell that this Goodwill Games like showdown with Iceland is meant to be like a fictional version, kids version of the Miracle on Ice from the Olympics. And also I love the counterpoint because like in Miracle, Kurt Russell is like a brutal taskmaster. So he's got them like skating like, back and forth, like and doing drills like after games. And it's like for a game they lose like maybe 3-1. And in this one, like they lose like 12-1 because they've been screwing around the whole time. And then he like keeps them like 30 minutes late and they're just like, this is too much.
I very rarely get pleasant nostalgia trips, but this one for me was like, it really was one of those, oh, this is back when not only movies, but just like concepts could be simpler. Like it really
Yeah.
was a really bright, um, little shining piece of childhood, kind of revisited in a way that didn't make me feel, it didn't ask me to think about anything. And it didn't disappoint me really at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that kind of puts it over the top for me, where I still enjoy it, is that the actors, the young actors playing the Ducks, are really charming, and
It's really charming.
um, yeah, I love like the beginning of the movie where they're roller skating through the mall and like collecting like
Getting all the
Abraman
gang back
from like the
together.
movie theater.
Yeah,
Like I thought
yeah.
that was the coolest thing. I'm just like, oh man, I wish I could roller skate in the mall and pick up my friend who works at a movie theater and stuff like that.
That's what this movie is to me, which is like I would see commercials for like the Super Toy Run on
Yeah,
Nickelodeon where you could run through Toys R Us and just get whatever you wanted. And I was like, that was that as a movie. Like it was just like
yeah,
a bunch of kids at a camp all together, a form of camp, where they all had these distinct, charming personalities, all really colorful, fun, full of life, and did this feel good thing to
yeah.
to win the day.
And I also like this the whole it's not like, great cinema, but like I do appreciate the scene where the the kids who are the LA kids who are watching them play and kind of not ta and the Ducks are not taking their representation of a Team America seriously enough. Like they say, like, "Hey, come out and play against us," and they sort of toughen them up a little bit and make them, "Hey, like, take this more seriously." And that's where they meet Kenan Thompson and stuff. I like that. I thought that that was kind of it didn't need to be there, but I think the movie benefits from having a scene where other kids, their peers, are just like, dude, like you guys are spoiled, like just as much as your coaches. It makes me want to go back and rewatch the first one because I remember that being the best. I do think Julie the Cat Gaffney was done dirty. She's supposed to be this great goalie, and she gets like one shot in one game, while Goldberg, who is consistently a mediocre
Yep.
goalie, is thrown out at the net. So I don't know. We will be back next week with week 4 of 5, the penultimate
Ooh.
choice of Disney Sports Movie Draft. And it's an old favorite of mine, sticking with sort of like the Goodwill Games Olympics bent Cool Runnings with
I've not watched
Dougie Doug
it in
and
a long time.
Leon, Malik Yoba, John Candy. May he rest in peace.
Mm.
So,
Excited to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a good long while.
yeah, I haven't seen it in a really, really long time, but I do remember enjoying it quite a bit. So, we will be back next week. And until next time,
These seats fly together.
quack,
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 quack.
quack, 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 quack.